Ciao amici, ciao a tutti, benvenuti in questa nuova live, in questo nuovo video. Good evening, my friends. Welcome to this new live. I'm so glad, sono così contenta oggi che avrò l'onore di festeggiare i miei 200 giorni di succhi con la mia amica Jennie e ci racconterà la sua storia. Vedrete, è una storia magica. Ciao Giovanni! I'm so glad to be here tonight for me to celebrate my 200 days on juice fasting with my dear soul friends Jenny, that she's gonna share her incredible healing story with the juice with us. Let's wait, Jenny. Fulvio, ciao, ciao a tutti. Il video sarà Jenny è americana, quindi parla inglese, ma io provvederò a tradurre, come già ho fatto, l'intervista per tutti voi. So the interview will be in English and in Italian, both language. Ok, ok. Jenny, aspettiamo alcuni amici che si collegano. Ecco Jenny. Ecco Jenny. Ok. I invite her to join us. Ho mandato un invito a Jenny per unirsi. Eccoci, here we are. Can you hear me? I cannot hear you. I don't know why. I need to
Yes, I
use
can hear you.
this. It's very low. My problem. Yes. Speak, amore. Try to speak.
Good morning.
Good morning for you and good evening for me. We are in the opposite part of the globe, me and you,
Yeah.
but connected, amore. I'm feeling like you are here next to me,
So
next
close
to
in
me,
the heart.
so close in the heart. And I'm so happy tonight to celebrate tonight for me, morning for you, to celebrate also my 200 days on juice with you, amore.
Congratulations, Angel.
Happy birthday.
Yes. Happy rebirth day.
Happy rebirthday. Jenny ha appena detto, ho appena detto a Jenny che sono felice di essere qua con lei a festeggiare i 200 giorni e Jenny mi ha detto buon compleanno di rinascita. Sì, rebirthing, exactly. So, amore, we will do like we said. I will ask you the question and I will say like that and then you stop it. Maybe you write, I don't know, you wanna write down just to don't forget or you are fine?
I'm okay.
You are okay because I mean, I'm sorry that I will need to interrupt you, but we have a lot of Italian friends watching us and they are curious to know your story, amore.
Good.
Yeah, thank you to
I'll try to
be here.
talk in little increments.
Yeah. Thank you to be here with us. Thank you. It's
Oh, thank you for having
is a,
me.
amore, is an honor for me have you here, literally. And looking forward to hug you in a real way.
Oh, me too. Me too. It's coming
It's
this
coming
year.
for sure. How many days today, amore? I forgot.
257?
Okay, 257 because now I need to count my day, your day, my friend.
You know, I forget. I go on Google and say, how many days since April 4th? It'll tell me. And then I just take
Ah,
the number at this point because I stopped marking it down.
amore, this is a good
Yeah.
tips. Thank you so much. I would do the same.
Yeah, the other day when we were
Ah,
trying to figure out my days, remember you were like, I'll count them. I'm like, don't worry about it. I just went on Google.
yes, you Google it.
Yeah, because I
Amazing.
know April 4th was my first day of the juice cleanse. So
Yeah, like for me, June 1st. So, easy.
we were so
Okay.
close. You're not very far behind me. It's incredible.
No, amore, we are in the same number now, on the same
Yeah.
two.
200, the 200 Club.
Two- 200 girl, not even woman. Stiamo dicendo che siamo nel club dei 200 giorni, delle 200
200,
festeggiamo,
200.
200 le donne dei 200 giorni.
This is what
Okay,
happens when
maybe,
you
yeah,
juice. You get so happy and full of love, everyone. Just so you know, you
yeah.
just dance randomly because you feel so good.
Yes. Jenny sta dicendo che questo succede quando sei in juice fasting, ovvero che l'umore è così alto, ti senti così bene, che senti il bisogno di ballare in maniera così anche spontanea, giocosa. Exactly like that.
Yes.
We need to do a comedy show, me and you, maybe. Why not? Comedy juice fasting show. Eh?
I'll
Wow.
I'll do any show with you. I
Me
adore
too,
you. You know that.
amore. Me too, me too. So what we do? I don't know. We start. I mean, what do you
You want me to
think?
tell them a little bit about why I started juicing?
Yeah. No. And I will introduce you
Okay.
according to what we said. Your weight and an introduction about your weight. And then you will do the same in English. You will explain about the weight in English because it's gonna be pound and no kilo. And then when you finish that, I will start with the first question. Oh, ok, let's start. Allora, Jenny, diciamo che ha sempre avuto problemi di sovrappeso per tutta la sua vita e non sapeva come fare e tutti i sintomi chiaramente collegati al sovrappeso, che adesso poi ci spiegherà. E non sapeva come fare, è sempre stato un incubo per lei, le ha provate di tutte. Pensate, lei è alta 1,62, mi sono segnata tutto. Lei è alta 1,62 e pesava, quando ha iniziato, prima di fare il digiuno a succhi, 121 kg. Poi è arrivata prima della crisi di settimana scorsa di guarigione a 65 kg, pensate, e adesso è 60 kg, quindi è la metà di se stessa. I was telling to our friend that now you are half of yourself, amore, exactly half. And I was explained that you were struggling all of your life. About the weight, about how to do that, and the related symptoms. Which kind of symptoms you were suffering uh, in related with your weight situation? Che tipo di sintomi, adesso gli sto chiedendo, soffriva collegati all'obesità?
Um, so I had eczema on my skin. I had terrible inflammation. It was getting very hard for me, like, playing with my kids, getting up and down off the floor, even my knees were hurting. I was having pains in my back and really bad issues in my neck. Um, I had all kind of things going on. I don't know how much was weight versus just health, overall health.
Dice che aveva qualsiasi tipo di sintomo. Poi è anche divertente che quando ti passano non te li ricordi più. Comunque aveva un eczema bruttissimo alla pelle, faceva fatica a muoversi, non riusciva comunque a muoversi, a giocare con i suoi bambini. Aveva un problema al collo, aveva difficoltà di movimento, pesantezza diffusa, problemi alle giunture, alle ginocchia, perché chiaramente l'obesità porta a quello, ogni tipo di sintomi correlati. E però è divertente anche da dire che quando guarisci non te li ricordi più. Ok. You
Extreme
wanna?
fatigue too.
Yeah.
Like I was tired all the time.
Ah,
No energy. That's a big one, you know. We all
e
need
poi
our energy, and I didn't have any.
Any Energy. Eh, dice che era stanca tutto il tempo, fatica cronica e non aveva nessun tipo di energia. Do you want to introduce yourself, amore? To our
Yes.
friends, please
Yes.
introduce yourself.
Thank
Prego.
you all. Thank you all for being here. Um, my name is Jenny, and I've been struggling with my weight for the majority of my life since I was small. I've been overweight, and more recently had some health issues that were really bringing me down. And so I decided to, I'm a mom of two, and um, I, really needed my energy and my health. And so I started juicing, and then I just really learned about self-love and how to really take care of ourselves and our temple. And then juicing just really turned into a whole transformation for me, like emotionally, spiritually, physically. I thought that I was going to lose some weight and get my health good, but I ended up just having a rebirth.
Allora, Jenny è molto contenta di essere qua con noi stasera e dice che appunto ha sempre avuto problemi col suo peso, appunto partiva da 121, adesso è arrivata a 60 e con tutti i sintomi correlati, stanchezza cronica, fatica, eccetera, quelle che abbiamo detto, e dice che praticamente è molto felice dei risultati raggiunti e praticamente grazie appunto quando ho iniziato a fare il digiuno a succhi, pensava solo di perdere peso, in verità è rinata praticamente, è rinata mentalmente, spiritualmente, fisicamente, è cresciuta da ogni punto di vista. Dice che il succo le ha cambiato la vita praticamente. I was telling to our friend that the juice changed completely your life, basically. Our life, because if you don't try, you cannot understand the magic of the juice. Se non provate, non potete capire la magia di essere in juice fasting. This morning, I'm telling something, this morning, I was so feeling like an angel. I did, I did a live in my garden because I drank just watermelon. When I drank watermelon, I don't, I mean,
My
I speak
favorite.
very slow. I'm very connected. And people, they was misunderstanding me. They was thinking that I was feeling sick. I was just calm in a kind of angelic state that people was thinking, oh my gosh, she's gonna pass out now. And they wrote in the comment like, oh, you look so weak, everything is fine. Yeah, I'm just feeling like an angel. When you feel like an angel, everything is fine, and you just wanna like calm down. I don't know, like talk slow, you know?
Yes,
So, and
that's
it's
what
a
happens with the Jews. Because
exact.
in our world today, everything is so go, 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 rush, rush, rush. And when you have the juice, it really makes you learn to live in the present. And in the present, it's okay to slow down. It's okay to think
Exactly.
about what you want to say and to speak
Exactly.
slowly and intentionally, you know? Something
Oh,
else
thank you.
about the calmness that you mentioned, I didn't even think to mention this before, but like I have suffered from anxiety and depression my whole life, very, very bad. I used to take medication for anxiety and in fight or flight a lot. I have to do a lot of self-soothing and regulation, and juicing has really helped with that. So if anyone listening has problems with their mental health or, you know, struggles with anxiety or depression, this could be a very helpful tool for you
Yeah,
to
because
clean out
calm
your
down the
temple.
nervous system, calm down the nervous system.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you feed the brain with the right food, of course, everything is coming down, you know?
And get
Allora,
that
già,
bad bacteria out of the gut.
exactly, and clean the gut, we know the secret. I mean, this is, people are tired to listen me to say clean the gut. So I'm boring myself with this sentence all the time.
Okay, well, they haven't heard me say it yet.
Yeah,
I'm telling you all to clean the gut because that
thank you so
bacteria
much.
it talks through your brain. You know, that
Yes,
bad bacteria and those parasites and stuff, they talk through you, but
exactly,
it helps with your mental health because they're not you know, interfering with your thoughts.
exactly. True. So, Jenny si è anche ricordata una cosa, che prima soffriva tantissimo e prendeva anche farmaci per l'ansia, la depressione, perché chiaramente correlate alla sua condizione anche di obesità, no? Quindi era tutta una sofferenza fisica, psicologica, spirituale. E i succhi di frutta l'hanno aiutata in questo, cioè lei adesso non prende più niente, nel senso che l'hanno aiutata a superare anche questi suoi stati ansiosi e depressivi. E io stavo spiegando stamattina a Jenny che quando ho fatto la live parlavo così lentamente stamattina perché ero davvero in uno stato angelico, avevo bevuto il mio watermelon, ero in uno stato proprio angelico che le persone credevano che alcuni mi hanno commentato, oh, ti vedo debole, no? Mi hanno mandato anche dei messaggi pensando che stessi male. Invece no, quando sei in succhi di frutta, soprattutto quando bevi watermelon, anguria, qualcosa di magico accade, cioè ti senti veramente un angelo in terra, cioè perché hai quella pace interiore, mentale, che veramente ti porta da un altro livello e quindi parli più piano, fai tutto piano. E Jenny diceva, nella nostra società, in our society, doing something slow, it means that you are sick mostly of the time. This is the craziness, no?
Yeah.
Nella nostra società, quando vai piano, parli piano, sei rilassata, sei calma, ti chiedono se sei malata, perché siamo talmente tanto abituati invece al sovraeccitamento. Ma vi rendete quanto è assurdo invece? Invece la normalità, the normal state should be the calmness.
Right.
Cioè,
People are worried when they see you so calm, but we need to be
yes.
calm. We need to be resting our nervous system.
Yes, le persone si preoccupano quando ti vedono troppo calma, ma in verità noi dobbiamo far riposare il nostro sistema nervoso. E in che modo? Se gli diamo il giusto cibo frugivoro, chiaramente tutto si calma. Ma nessuno, siccome intorno a te non lo fanno gli altri, allora uno pensa, oh, questa persona sta male, non ha più energia. No, è semplicemente, si sta semplicemente alimentando secondo la specie specifica e quindi è più tranquilla. I explained this to our friends about the fact that more we are calm and more people are thinking you are sick. So it's insane.
That's how skewed it is.
But these kind of things you realize. when you are in a different stage. Otherwise, when you are in, you don't realize things at all.
Mhm. That's part of the reason so many of us are sick because in society today, it's just rush, rush, rush. I've got to rush to work. I have to rush to this. I have to rush and grab some food and hurry up and eat it before I have to do this. And that's part of the reason we got in trouble too with like the fast food and stuff like that. And then everybody's body needs a rest, but we're doing the opposite, me included. I mean, I understand because I work too and I have, all the things to do, but my ultimate goal is to just work toward being able to slow down a little bit more and a little bit more, because I recognize that it's not healthy. It's why so many people burn out as well.
Dice, Jenny sottolinea appunto come anche che nella nostra società è sottolineato praticamente, cioè tutti corrono, 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 non hanno mai tempo neanche per fermarsi a riflettere su, su se stessi e quindi ecco che non si ha tempo di mangiare, si va ai fast food e tutte queste cattive abitudini perché si è abituati talmente tanto a correre qua e là e dice che anche lei comunque lo faceva e anche lei comunque si deve abituare a non farlo più ancora, perché comunque è all'interno della società, ma solamente quando tu esci mentalmente da questa ruota del criceto attraverso i juice perché tranquillizzi il sistema nervoso, allora ti rendi conto di questo. Finché sei dentro, non te ne rendi conto di quanto l'alimentazione influisca il tuo livello, il tuo sistema nervoso simpatico e parasimpatico e quindi la tua capacità di rilassarti tantissimo, ma finché sei dentro non te ne rendi conto perché per te è normale, è la realtà. Ok, amore, I would love to ask you the first question. I need to tell to our friends, okay, how many Jews you are, how many days? 257. Okay, because I didn't speak in Italian. We just said in English. Ok, oggi per Jenny è il giorno 257 di succhi. Quindi partiamo da questo presupposto. Adesso lei ci racconterà come è arrivata fino a qua. Now Jenny will tell us how she start. I mean, why she decided to do just fasting. But first, I have one question for you. When did you become vegan and why? Quando sei diventata vegana e perché?
I became vegan, I believe it was like 6 or 7, between 6 and 8 years ago. I can't remember. I didn't, I'm not, I
More
don't
or less,
have
I
the date
mean.
on hand, but it's been quite a while. So I was vegan well before this juice cleanse, but I ate a lot of, I don't, so I ate whole food plant-based on the week, but then on the weekend I would eat vegan junk food. I would go to all the vegan restaurants. There's a lot of vegan restaurants where I live, and um, I went vegan those years ago because it was the same year that the World Health Organization announced or classified meat as a class 2 carcinogen, which was the same as a cigarette.
Eh,
And that just
eh.
blew my mind. And a lot of people talked about it for a little while, but then they just kept eating meat. And cancer is prevalent in my family, and I don't want it. And I've always been a very open-minded person, and I like to try new things. And so um, I was in this new nutrition class, and I think that my teacher might have been vegan because they had assigned us all these documentaries to watch, and one of them was like Farm Inc. and Cowspiracy. And I watched those documentaries. Go ahead.
Allora, è diventata vegana, Jenny ci racconta circa 6-7 anni fa e dice che durante la settimana mangiava tofu e diciamo vegan plant-based food. cibo appunto vegano, normale, ma durante il weekend andava a mangiare junky food, quindi dei fast food. E quindi, insomma, questo chiaramente non era una cosa salutare per lei, che la faceva stare bene, però questa era la sua dieta. È diventata vegana, io gli ho chiesto perché è diventata vegana, perché era in quell'anno praticamente l'ha colpita il fatto che l'Organizzazione Mondiale della Sanità aveva dichiarato la carne come cancerogena, eh, al pari delle sigarette. E quindi questa cosa, lei avendo una familiarità per il cancro nella sua famiglia, ha detto io il cancro non lo voglio, quindi questa cosa l'ha colpita e è diventata vegana per questo. Poi dice che stava facendo appunto un corso di cucina e la sua insegnante che era vegana, what is the name, the conspiracy? What is the name of the movie?
Cowspiracy, and I
Conspiracy.
think the other one was named Farm Inc.
Okay, so your teacher mentioned that.
Yeah, part of an
Go
assignment
ahead.
was to watch
Yes.
some different documentaries, and those were a couple of the documentaries. And that happened at the same time that, like I mentioned, the World Health Organization classified meat as a carcinogen. And because cancer is in my family and I watched these documentaries, I told my husband, hey, and already I had gone through points in my life where I didn't eat meat. So growing up Catholic, we don't eat meat on certain days during Lent and different things. And sometimes during the year, I would just give up meat. So even for a little while in high school, not even a full year, but I was vegetarian for a little while, off and on here and there. But I thought I'll give it a try. And I told my boyfriend at the time, husband now, I said, hey, I'm thinking, since, they're saying meat's not good for us, I think I'll try to give it up. Maybe I'll taper off. So the first month I stopped eating red meat. And then the next month I stopped eating chicken. And then the next month I stopped eating pork or whatever. I think actually pork might have been first because I didn't really eat that anyway. So it was like pork and then red meat. And then the next month I got rid of chicken. Then the next month I got rid of fish. And the next month I got rid of shellfish, which was very hard for me because I'm Creole and
Shellfish.
we eat a lot of in Creole culture we eat a lot of seafood. So
Yeah.
crab and
Me too,
shrimp.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
I eat a lot of seafood in my life.
So that was the last of, the actual animals that when I stopped that
Yeah,
I
yeah.
stopped. And then it took me like 6 more months to stop eating eggs and cheese because that was the hardest. So I was vegetarian for a whole year before I went vegan. Um, and so it's good for people to know if you feel you can't rush into it, you can ease into it too. And actually, my husband said, oh, like I mentioned, he said, oh, I'll try it with you. And he did it too. And he's also vegan. And my whole family is vegan. My children been vegan since conception, never had any sort of animal products at all. I'm so
Amore,
thankful.
your children are tapeworms and worms and parasite free. You can imagine how big gift you gave to them. Amore. Oh my God.
And they're
This is
so healthy. My babies are so healthy. They hardly
two
ever get
angels.
sick. They the doctor said, one of the nurses at their doctor's office said, "How come these kids are so beautiful? How come I don't see them more often?" And our pediatrician, holistic pediatrician piped in and said, "That's because her kids are never sick. We never have to go to the doctor." As a matter of fact, my family just got COVID. My kids just like knocked it right out at the park. They had a full
Yeah.
day that was really rough, and then that was it. They were bouncing around, and I could still tell they had some symptoms, but like they felt better quick.
Ah. Allora, praticamente quando stava facendo un corso con questa sua insegnante vegana, gli hanno fatto vedere dei documentari, tra cui quello Conspiracy, e questo praticamente, insieme al fatto che l'Organizzazione Mondiale della Sanità aveva dichiarato la carne rossa come cancerogena, la carne in generale, poi soprattutto quella rossa come cancerogena, gli ha dato proprio la motivazione per smettere. Quindi che cosa ha fatto? Insieme al suo marito, perché suo marito l'ha seguita. È vero che nella vita dice che è sempre stata vegetariana on and off, quindi passava, non ha mai mangiato tantissima carne, ma pesce sì, nella sua cultura c'è tanto pesce. Quindi che cosa ha fatto? Il primo mese ha smesso di mangiare maiale, il secondo mese è andata gradualmente, come diciamo sempre, transizione, quindi è andata gradualmente, ha smesso una cosa alla volta. Prima il maiale, poi ha smesso la carne rossa, poi ha smesso il pollo, poi ha smesso il pesce, ogni mese smetteva, eliminava un elemento derivante dagli animali e poi da ultimo ha smesso il granchio. Dice che nella sua famiglia c'era tanta cultura per il pesce, quello ha fatto un po' fatica, mentre le altre cose no. E i 6 mesi dopo ha lasciato anche le uova e il formaggio. Dice che quello è stato un pochino più difficile da fare perché erano le cose che gli piacevano anche. E dice che i suoi bambini sono vegani dalla nascita, tutta la sua famiglia è vegana, perché anche il marito l'ha seguita in questo meraviglioso percorso. E i bambini non sono, io li ho visti, sono bellissimi, due angeli, sono gli unici bambini, mi viene da dire, senza vermi nell'intestino. Festeggiamo i bambini di Jennie, celebrate. I just told our friends that tape worm free baby, so we need to celebrate. And no, because I mean, people they think children cannot have parasites and worms. And no, you got parasite. You carry the parasite since you were a child. This is the point. Perché purtroppo noi ci trasciniamo i parassiti e i vermi se mangiamo carne da quando siamo bambini. Purtroppo. Per quello escono così lunghi poi a un certo punto, come avete visto dai miei video. Lei dice che addirittura il medico gli ha chiesto, il pediatra, ma come mai questi bambini sono così belli? E insomma, gli hanno fatto tutti i complimenti. I suoi bambini non sono mai malati. Hanno preso il Covid della sua famiglia. I suoi bambini l'hanno in 2 giorni, proprio luce del sole, è passato tutto. Cioè, non si ammalano praticamente mai i suoi bambini. E certo, perché non hanno tutto quell'acido prodotto dai prodotti derivati dai prodotti animali nel corpo e quindi i virus non attecchiscono, no? Come diciamo sempre. Amazing. I mean, I was explaining the fact that if you are alkaline inside, anything, nothing can touch you. I mean, and
It can touch you, but your body can handle it.
yeah, can touch it, but can handle it. I mean, two option. I want to ask you an important question. When did you stop to eat the meat, any kind of animal products? Did you feel the difference in your brain? In your brain, like the way to think? Gli ho chiesto quando ha smesso di mangiare prodotti animali, se ha sentito una differenza all'interno di cambiamento a livello proprio del cervello, anche di elevazione spirituale, about elevation, spiritual elevation, sensibility, these kind of things.
Oh, 100%. Going vegan completely changed my life and my husband's life too. Yes, we felt a deep connection to the earth, to all life, when you stop consuming suffering and death. Um, like I mentioned, I've suffered with anxiety and depression. I could tell very much that when I switched over to vegan, that reduced. And many of my health problems that I had reduced just by going vegan. So my I had really bad fibromyalgia symptoms, and those really reduced. And then I used to have to take migraine medicine. I didn't have to take that anymore. Um,
Medicine for?
migraines.
Ah, migraine. Ah,
I never have that anymore. Never have migraines anymore. And then additionally, part of the reason I went vegan too is because I wanted to have children and for them to be healthy and for us all to be healthy. And um,
how
I
old
was
they
told at
are, your
one point,
children? Two
huh?
years? How old
Two,
are
two
they?
and four, 2 and 4. So I went vegan a couple years before they were
Mm.
born, but um, I was told at one point it would be very hard for me to have children. So when I went vegan, actually, we got both of our children with one try. When we decided to have kids, it took one try for both of them after going vegan. So that I definitely saw huge benefits. And like I said, a connection to the earth, to all things, more connected to myself, and just to the universe, just to everything, when you stop harming, um, it elevates you spiritually, and when you stop or when you intentionally try to stop contributing to harm, I know that we can't eliminate it. There's no way, right? Because there's just no way. Even with our gardening, we might harm a worm or something like that, but it's about trying to minimize it and being intentional about it.
Yes, thank you. Dice che certo ha sentito dei benefici da ogni punto di vista, mentale, spirituale, fisico, tutti i suoi sintomi si sono ridotti quando è diventata vegana. Ad esempio aveva dei brutti sintomi di fibromialgia, anche se ricordate che aveva anche la fibromialgia, vedete che poi ci dimentichiamo. I was telling to our friends, I'm telling to our friends that when you um, heal some symptoms, then you forget the symptoms. So this is the craziness. So
Yes,
sometimes I
yes,
need to write down. I was suffering from, okay, headache, acne, blah, blah, blah. Because I forgot, literally. I was
yes,
suffering, okay, because you forgot. You
yes,
literally forgot.
yes,
You forgot something that was belonging to you for all of your life. This is insane, no?
yes.
It's insane.
I couldn't find it, but I have a list that I wrote
I mean,
down because I knew that I would forget. And I tell my clients the same thing. I tell them, like,
write
write
down
down all the problems you're having because when you feel so good, you need to remember like all the things that you were
memories.
trying to help,
Thank
because you just forget about it. And you don't want to fully forget because you don't want to go back. I have my list somewhere.
exactly. Me too. I wrote down everything. Otherwise, I
Oh
forget.
my gosh,
Dice-
and when I started writing, my list got longer and longer and longer and longer. Do you know even juicing has even um, been fixing my eyesight? I can see so
Oh, I
much
know.
better now.
I know, me too. Same story. Dice che
I
il suo... Ah, ma poi questo after... the follow-up question is about the juice, amore. I know that you are like
I got
looking
excited.
forward, I know. Allora, lei dice che già appunto quando è andata vegana ha guarito tantissimi, altri sintomi si sono attenuati, tra cui soffriva di fibromialgia e si è ridotto tantissimo. Non ha preso più, aveva sempre queste emicranie come me, non ha chiaramente togliendo tutti i prodotti infiammatori che derivano dagli animali morti, poveretti, pace all'anima loro, chiaramente ha smesso di prendere le medicine anche per il mal di testa direttamente. E poi lei voleva avere dei bambini e quindi diciamo che l'ha fatto anche per dare ai bambini un futuro sano. E quindi è diventata vegana 2 anni prima di rimanere incinta e ha detto che aveva problemi a rimanere incinta, ma diventando vegana, lei e il marito, è la prima volta che hanno provato, basta, è rimasta subito incinta sia del primo che del secondo. I suoi bambini io li ho visti, appunto, come dicevo, meravigliosi. Uno ha 2 anni, due hanno 2 e 4 anni, bellissimi. E appunto dice che oltre ad essere, aver avuto un cambiamento fisico, ho sentito anche un cambiamento spirituale, di connessione con se stessa, con la terra, con l'universo. Tutte parole che amici sembrano astratte, lo so, ma perché non si hanno, se non si devono provare queste sensazioni che stiamo dicendo. E dice, dice anche che appunto gli è migliorata la vista ed è successo anche a me questo, cioè come vi dicevo, gli è migliora, vede meglio. Ok, amore, so now let's talk about the juice, our hot topics. Parliamo del juice
Yay!
fasting. Why? La domanda mia è perché hai iniziato questo lungo digiuno a succhi di frutta, 257 giorni, ricordiamo oggi, e che cosa hai guarito? Why did you start this long juice feast, amore, and what did you heal?
So I had a
Enjoy!
lot. I mentioned that, there we go. I mentioned that I was, feeling good after going vegan, and that lasted for a little while, and I was feeling a bit better, but veganism became more mainstream, and where I live, um, there started to be a lot of vegan junk food available, a lot of like restaurants around here, and a lot of fake meat, came out, like the Beyond Meat and everything. And I am an advocate for those things, as far as like if you're using it to transition and go vegan, then that's better than eating the standard American diet. However, I think it's important to recognize too the effects that those things have on our body. So I mentioned that all my symptoms like were improving, the fibromyalgia symptoms when I started eating all that fake meat and different things and the fake cheeses. A lot of that came back. It didn't matter that I was vegan. I was eating these highly processed foods that had a lot of
Yeah.
oil and salt, and so a lot of the problems came back, like the fibromyalgia. I mentioned all the inflammation and pain, and um, also I had, see, when you start talking about it, you remember, like you said, I also had arthritis symptoms. I used to do very repetitive work with my hands, and I started having my joints would lock on my hands, and they would swell and turn red and throb, and I wouldn't be able to bend my fingers. I don't have that ever anymore. But just saying that to say, that these highly processed foods are very, can be very, very hard on the body. And so,
Ok,
yeah.
amore, thank you. Dice che perché ci sta introducendo come mai ha iniziato il digiuno a succhi. Dice che quando è diventata vegana, come ha detto, ha iniziato a sentirsi meglio. Poi nella zona dove abita, purtroppo sono iniziati a sorgere, a nascere numerosi ristoranti vegani, poi questo culto della carne finta, del formaggio finto, tutti questi cibi processati vegani, junky food, tutti questi fast food vegani. Quindi lei ha iniziato a mangiare questi cibi processati vegani e chiaramente tutti i suoi sintomi comunque sono ritornati perché non è che è vegano non sano, non salutare questo, no? E quindi la fibromialgia e quindi l'artrite, si è ricordata perché ridevamo prima sul fatto che quando non soffri più di alcuni sintomi poi te li dimentichi, ridevamo sul fatto che ha dovuto stilarsi una lista dei sintomi che aveva per ricordarsi quando qualcuno glielo chiede, come io in questo caso, perché sennò si dimentica e dice che dice di farlo anche alle persone che segue, perché anche lei fa la coach come me, e dice I told people that you are a coach as well. You help people in a juice fasting like me. We are doing the same, no? We are helping
Thank you.
to create a better world, amore. So I told people that you are doing this, and you are telling to your clients to write a list of the symptoms. This is a good idea. E dice che appunto dice ai suoi clienti di scrivere la lista dei sintomi che avevano per ricordarsi come i succhi poi li hanno guarite. Ed è vero, è verissimo, effettivamente. E, e dice che appunto, tra le altre cose, aveva anche questa artrite, non riusciva proprio a piegare le mani con questa pelle tutta screpolata e quindi alla fine doveva fare qualcosa, insomma, perché questi sintomi erano ricomparsi. Amore, go ahead.
So then I had my children, and after I had my daughter in January of 2020, I had terrible postpartum depression. I mean, terrible because partially I think because my daughter was born 1 week before COVID lockdown.
Ah,
So I had my daughter,
before.
yes. So I had my daughter, and then a week later, that's when everything happened with COVID, and they locked everything down, and people were not going to work, and you couldn't go anywhere, and you couldn't go, do anything, and I had a newborn, and I didn't know what was going on in the world. So many of us were so scared. Imagine that with a newborn. So I really didn't want anyone near her, and so basically, I was very, very isolated and just alone, um, and it was just so scary. I think for everyone at that time, it was hard to listen to the news all the time, and it was just very hard on people's mental health, and that was very, very hard on my mental health. And so there was that. But additionally, when I had my daughter, I don't really take medication. I think it's good to mention this as well, and I haven't for a long time. Since I stopped, like I went vegan and I stopped all those kind of medications. Like I didn't take my migraine medicine anymore, no anxiety medicine, nothing like that. When I had my daughter, sometimes there's something called GBS positive. It's when they say you have a certain bacteria um, in your vagina, basically, and they're worried that that bacteria can hurt the baby. There's like a tiny chance the baby could get that bacteria on them and get sick and die, and it's a very, very, very tiny chance. But the doctors really pushed me, and they want you to take antibiotics when that happens, when you go in, just when you go into labor. Um, and I listened to them. And when my water broke, they gave me antibiotics, and I haven't had antibiotics, I mean, as an adult ever. I mean, I don't even remember having antibiotics. So I had antibiotics, and I didn't have my daughter for 24 hours. So they just pumped me full of antibiotics for 24 hours until I had her. And um, then the following, so that happened. I had her, and then the next week I was eating a salad.
Amore.
Oh, go ahead.
Allora, dice che praticamente il tutto è iniziato perché alla nascita di sua figlia nel gennaio del 2020, sua figlia ha 2 anni adesso, praticamente ha avuto una brutta depressione postpartum, è stata molto male e forse anche perché la bambina è nata una settimana prima che iniziasse il lockdown di Covid e quindi c'era una situazione di caos intorno, tutti erano spaventati, come ben sapete, nessuno sapeva insomma cosa stava accadendo, lei stessa era terrorizzata, diceva cosa succederà al mondo, cosa succederà ai miei cari, insomma tutti i dubbi che abbiamo avuto tutti quando è iniziata la pandemia. E dice che si è isolata, quindi non ha voluto avere più contatti con nessuno, si è isolata molto e quindi questa depressione si è amplificata. e perché era molto preoccupata in generale per tutti, per la sua famiglia, la società, il mondo, eccetera, la bambina. E dice che quando ha partorito la bambina, c'è stato un altro evento. Lei non ha mai preso antibiotici praticamente nella sua vita, eh, non si ricorda la frequenza con cui ha preso antibiotici, cioè proprio molto raramente. E quando ha avuto il parto, il medico gli ha trovato un batterio nella vagina che praticamente può essere molto pericoloso, gli hanno detto in ospedale, può essere molto pericoloso per il bambino, addirittura in alcuni casi estremi può portare alla morte. Quindi lei cosa ha fatto? I dottori gli hanno detto prendi antibiotico per questo, lei per amore della bambina aveva talmente tanta paura, ha preso gli antibiotici. Quindi per 24 ore gli hanno pompato in vena questi antibiotici e lei non li aveva mai presi. Quindi, ok, go ahead. I told them that the doctor give you antibiotic for 24 hours. Then, what happened?
And I also want to mention, because I don't know if this is common in other countries, but this is very common in America. They test every woman for this, and like 50% of us have this
Is
bacteria.
la pus?
It's
Say
called
again the
GBS.
G. Write in the comment. Write in the comment
Let me see if I know how. Let's see.
because I know VHP. VHP.
This is what we say here. It's GBS. They test you
GB.
for GBS. Uh-huh.
GBS. I know VHP.
Okay. But it's very common. A lot of women test GBS
Okay.
positive and have antibiotics like during labor. So then the next week, I
È il
was
nome
eating a
del
salad.
virus che aveva. Ok,
The
go
next week
ahead.
after having my daughter, I was having a salad and I bit down and just cracked my tooth. And I really feel like it was the antibiotics, just like
You
weakened
crack your. What did you crack?
my tooth just the
Ah.
week after she was born. And I've never so much of I've never even had a cavity my entire life. So it was just so strange after having that big dump of antibiotics and then my tooth cracked. So
Ah.
then I had to go into the dentist and they said, you need a root canal. And all of this was happening to me just all at once with like the root canal. I just had my baby. Like I was still, bleeding from just having my daughter and like my tooth cracked and COVID and just everything was going on. And I was feeling so much stress at that time. And I didn't want to get the root canal either, but I didn't know what else to do. So I listened to them and I got the root canal. So now I got another big dose of medicine. They have to give you all these injections and drill your tooth and, fill it in and do all these things. Well, after that series of events that I've detailed, I started getting sick. The fibromyalgia type symptoms. Go ahead.
Everything worse. Mm.
Yeah.
Dice che praticamente il weekend successivo alla nascita della bambina, dopo che aveva preso questa dose di antibiotici per curare questo GBS virus, che sinceramente non so cos'è, mi andrò ad informare. Comunque l'ha scritto sotto nei commenti anche per voi se volete andare a dare un'occhiata, che tipo di virus è. E dice che poi ha scoperto che la maggior parte delle donne testa positivo per questo virus e non è che gli danno l'antibiotico, non tutte l'hanno preso e quindi dice a saperlo prima. In pratica cosa è successo? Ha mangiato un'insalata, mentre mangiava questa insalata e lei non aveva mai avuto problemi di denti di nessun genere, gli si è rotto un dente e dice sicuramente è correlato con tutti gli antibiotici che mi hanno dato, cioè ha fatto questo tipo di correlazione mentale, ha detto com'è possibile, improvvisamente mi si rompe un dente mangiando un'insalata, mi sembra strano. Vai, è andata dal dentista e il dentista gli ha detto che doveva fare il root canale e lei non voleva farlo questo, ma poi alla fine l'ha fatto e quindi anche lì altra dose di farmaci, altra dose di chimica nel corpo e quindi il suo corpo non era così tanto abituato a quello e ha cominciato ad ammalarsi. Quindi tutti i sintomi, fibromialgia, tutti i sintomi che aveva chiaramente sono ritornati, sono ripeggiorati, eccetera. Go ahead, amore.
So yes, then after that, it was just downhill. After all those big doses of medication, plus all the stress of just everything going on in the world at the time, and I got postpartum depression, and it was really, really, really bad. Uh, and I've always been looking into health my whole life because I've wanted to lose weight and just be healthier, and I ran across this movie, which I had tried to eat raw vegan as well. I want to mention that, but I couldn't. I was too addicted to the chemical food. I am an emotional eater as well, and I recognize now that I had some trauma that stemmed from, but I've been emotionally eating too, so you can imagine I'm so depressed and I'm locked in the house. Like the only thing I could do for myself at that point that made me feel good with the two babies as well. My kids are less than 2 years apart. So when Jordan was born, my son was one. So I'm like locked up in the house, not knowing what's going on in the world with COVID. I'm, just it was just a rough time for me. And I started looking for some inspiration. And I watched this movie, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. Um, and if any of you
Fat,
know,
you can really dead. You can. How is the movie name?
Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead.
Oh,
And this is a movie, you can find it for free on the internet.
no.
So I watched this movie, and it's about this man named Joe Cross. And he had an illness that doctors told him there was no cure for and nothing could be done. And he decided to juice for 60 days, and he healed himself of the illness completely, cured himself.
Ok. Praticamente dice che a seguito di quello che della nuova assunzione di farmaci che ha avuto per il canale, il root canal, è stato un incubo. Cioè, lei era chiusa in casa, periodo di Covid, c'era il lockdown, depressione postpartum, stava male per la conseguenza di tutto quello che gli era stato iniettato nel corpo. E da sempre comunque un altro dei suoi obiettivi era quello di perdere peso, insomma. Però in quella situazione lì chiaramente aveva anche un problema di mangiare per colmare l'emozione e quindi diciamo che era una situazione dove lei ha iniziato a fare anche questo, ma l'aveva sempre avuto un po' questo problema di mangiare per colmare appunto i vuoti emotivi e ha tentato anche di mangiare, di iniziare a mangiare il crudismo, quindi senza il junky food, però non ce l'ha fatta perché aveva questa dipendenza proprio carnale dal junky food e anche una dipendenza appunto emotiva, proprio per tutto l'insieme della situazione che stava vivendo. E dice che allora a un certo punto ha guardato questo documentario che si chiama Fat, Sick and Nearly Dead. Maybe you can write down in the comments, because maybe people they wanna watch it, you
Yes.
know? Allora, amore, e quindi ho guardato questo film. I would love to watch him too, actually. Ed è stato per lei l'ispirazione più grande perché il protagonista ha guarito i suoi sintomi fisici che aveva attraverso facendo 60 giorni di digiuno liquido. E quindi, buongiorno a tutti cari. E quindi questo è stato per lei un'ispirazione. Esatto, quello che ha scritto Fat, Sick and Nearly Dead è il nome del film che l'ha ispirata a iniziare il percorso di juice fasting, di digiuno ai succhi di frutta, perché il protagonista appunto ha guarito se stesso con i digiuni, come sta succedendo a me e a Jenny. Ok, amore, go ahead, thank you.
Yes, so I watched that movie about Joe Cross, and he basically travels the states with his juicer in his car, juicing and talking to people, and as he's getting healthier and healthier, he's talking to people about what he's doing, juicing and trying to heal himself. But ultimately, he's able to heal himself completely. And I just thought it was incredible. Maybe I could try that, you know? So I started trying to incorporate more juice. I was not ready at that time to do a full-blown juice cleanse. I was still breastfeeding, and so I was having juices, having juices here and there, and trying to have more raw foods, eating a lot of like carrot sticks and celeries and bell peppers with guacamole and stuff like that. And
Oh,
it
you
was
were very, I'm so proud of you. I mean, you change a lot. You are a miracle, amore.
oh, thank you. Thank
Oh
you.
my goodness.
I started
You're such
trying
a
to do.
strong, you are such a strong angel, warrior angel, no joke.
Thank
And because
you.
I
Thank
mean,
you
it's
so
not
much.
easy. You was like addicted from the food, and then you start. I mean, a strong, literally strong personality. Otherwise, I'm impressed. Literally,
Oh,
my
thank
goodness.
you. I have to be honest, the postpartum depression got to a scary point to where I really had to do something for myself. I also
Yeah,
got in therapy, so if any of you are struggling
yeah.
with your mental health, I did all this, but I do want you to know that I went to therapy as well, and I still go to therapy. It's important.
I'm doing. Thank you for mention because all the time I mention the same that before healing other people, I went to the therapist too because otherwise, I mean, there is nothing bad to ask for help. There is nothing bad to ask for help. Io dico sempre, adesso now I translate because this is a very important point that people have to understand because sometimes there is a lot of shame in this, no?
Yes.
I feel ashamed to say that I need a psychologist. No, no, no. We are
We
all in the
all need
same
to
boat.
talk to someone.
Exactly. We are in the same boat, everyone. So nothing to be ashamed of.
Exactly.
Anyway, Anyway, dice che questo protagonista del film praticamente cosa faceva? Eh, andava in giro per l'America con il suo juicer in macchina e parlava con le persone del digiuno a succhi di frutta, quindi ispirava le persone. Questo l'ha molto colpita. Lei in quel periodo stava allattando, non era ancora psicologicamente comunque pronta per iniziare un percorso di completo di digiuno a succhi di frutta, però diciamo che l'ha motivata molto. Quindi cosa ha fatto? Ha iniziato a l'ha motivata anche tanto il fatto che la sua depressione postpartum è arrivata a un punto davvero di non ritorno, quindi si era detta io devo fare qualcosa per me e ha iniziato anche una terapia psicologica, questo è importante dire perché dicevamo con Jenny che molte volte le persone si vergognano, no? Di avere un problema, di chiedere aiuto, invece no. Cioè, è importante perché siamo tutti umani e siamo tutti nella stessa barca, quindi abbiamo tutti bisogno di aiuto. Io stessa dichiaro sempre che prima di curare le altre persone con MDR sono andata io stessa in terapia 4 anni con MDR, 5 anni, insomma, e tuttora anche adesso quando ne ho bisogno, cioè comunque sia mantengo il percorso, cioè non è che si finisce, stop, cioè io stessa quando ho bisogno e necessità chiedo aiuto alla terapeuta MDR, cioè non c'è niente di male in questo, no? E lo vogliamo sottolineare entrambi. Anche adesso, anche Jenny ancora sta facendo una terapia. E dice che quindi ha iniziato a introdurre più cibo crudo e più succhi di frutta nella sua dieta. Ok, amo. Thank you.
You're welcome. So um, I forgot where I was.
Allora, you were, because I write down everything, you were that you start to incorporate more raw
Um,
food and
yes,
juice in your
yes.
diet. You start also to doing a therapist.
And
Okay.
so I was able to lose about 30 pounds that way. Um, but I really wanted to clean my gut because after I watched Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, I wanted to know more about juicing. So I started, looking at other people's juice journeys and what they were doing and the kind of things that they were releasing from their body. And I learned about like mucoid plaque and all these things that can really reside in our gut and hold toxicity and keep us sick. And you know, I thought I think I need this, you know, I really think I need this to clean out my gut and sort of get a fresh start. And um, so yes, I just kept learning more and more, and I tried. So I started trying eventually to do a longer juice cleanse, you know, a few days here, a few days there. Um, and then I joined like some online communities and met some friends, like my friend Aline. Aline
We
helped me
met
so
through
much.
Aline. We met through
Yes.
Aline.
And that's my angel, and she just really one of many. I have many juicing angels behind me now, like this sweet one here as well. But she really, really helped me to be able to go a longer time. I didn't realize how important it is to have friends and support because juicing it turns out to be a lot more than just juicing and physical. It's very emotional and you
Emotion.
release a lot of trauma that you haven't processed and different things. It's very interesting how it's stored in the body. So that's why a lot of people they go, you know, they want to do a longer cleanse and they go 5 or 6 days and they start these emotions start to come up and they feel they have to eat. That's because we're used to numbing and pushing them down. So um, one of the most important things when you want to do a long juice cleanse is to get support. Whether you get a coach, whether you join an online community, whether you have an accountability buddy, you know, a friend, whatever it is, you need somebody
Jenny,
to talk to.
is so funny because all the time I repeat the same things. Ask for help if you are beginners. Don't do like alone. Join a community. Same thing that you are saying. I'm so happy that people can hear also from you, you know, because from another perspective, and you are not even Italian. So I'm happy that they can hear also from a person that is not even Italian. So, I mean, it means that we are experiencing the same needs, no?
Right.
At the beginning, we need a coach, everyone. I mean, I got a coach at the beginning before coaching people. It's normal. I mean, nothing bad. You need to learn, you need to have the knowledge, no?
Yeah.
Uh,
And so
I trust.
that made the difference for me, really, just having support, you know, like you're saying. And so then
Yes.
I was able to do a 10-day cleanse, which I had never been able to do once
When it
I
was,
met when Aline and I met, I was finally able to do a 10-day juice cleanse, which was my longest one ever. Um,
when it
whenever I
was,
got some
when it
support.
was.
A couple months before I started this one. So
Mm.
yeah, so I tried. That's another thing to make sure people know. If you try and you don't get it the first try, that's okay.
It's
Just keep
okay.
trying. Just
Oh,
keep going, you know.
oh, thank
I
you.
tried so many times, but thank God I didn't give up, you know. Thank God I kept going and so yeah, once I had support, I was able to do a 10-day juice cleanse, which was like the longest I'd gone. But I was having some dental issues from this root canal. It's caused other problems for me.
Okay,
And
let me
so I,
translate. You are on the root canal problem, just for you to remember.
okay.
Eh, allora, dice che praticamente quando ha iniziato ad alimentarsi più con cibo crudo, più con succhi di frutta, eccetera, ha perso comunque del peso, 30 pound, che dovrei fare il calcolo di quanti sono i chili, però 30 pound potete anche farlo voi il calcolo cercate su Google 30 pound quanti chili sono. Quindi ha iniziato a vedere che perdeva peso cambiando alimentazione e introducendo più succhi di frutta. Però dice che praticamente Niente, ha iniziato quindi grazie a questo film a unirsi a community, gruppi di supporto, di juice fasting, di detox, che ci sono che ci sono in Facebook, quindi a cercare la community, no? Quindi questo l'ha molto aiutata e ha conosciuto Aline, che è la persona che ci ha fatto incontrare effettivamente, perché Aline ha un gruppo che si chiama Queen and King of Raw, praticamente è il gruppo di Alina di cui io e Jenny facciamo parte. We joined the group and we met each other in that group. Was the occasion. We never meet each other in person, but we became a really strong friends because sometimes, I mean, it's just a juice connection. It's something that you cannot explain. Ho detto che non ci siamo mai incontrate io e Jenny dal vivo, ma siamo diventate subito amiche, tanto, perché è veramente questa connessione, questo amore incondizionato che ti dà il succo di frutta, che ti dà quando fai juice fasting, cioè una cosa che bisogna veramente di connessione profonda con l'altro. E Aline, che ha creato appunto questo gruppo di cui noi facciamo parte su Facebook, l'ha aiutata a iniziare il percorso la prima volta che ha fatto il suo primo digiuno a zucca di frutta, perché lei ha detto, cavolo, aveva iniziato a studiare anche le placche di muco, a vedere appunto che cosa le persone eliminavano durante il juice fasting, è rimasta molto colpita e ha detto sicuramente queste cose ce le avrò anch'io dentro e quindi ha detto no, io le voglio togliere, voglio guarire, voglio pulire il mio colon e quindi Lynn gli ha fatto fare i primi 10 giorni di digiuno a succo, che li ha fatti un mese prima di iniziare questo lungo digiuno a succo in cui è attualmente, che sta facendo attualmente. E anche lei sottolinea sempre come me che la cosa importante è stata il fatto che Aline l'ha aiutata, quindi l'avere la comunità, il sostegno, quindi gruppi Facebook, le pagine Facebook come ad esempio facciamo noi amici qua sulla mia pagina, quindi un gruppo di sostegno, di condivisione e una coach, anche lei l'ha avuta. E questo ha fatto per lei una grandissima differenza. E poi dice sempre lei, provate, provate, cioè l'attitudine è provare. L'attitudine è provare, cioè non mollate al primo colpo. Se non ci riuscite al primo colpo, va bene, cioè non succede niente, riprovate, non demoralizzatevi, è normale, cioè datevi il tempo. I was underlying the fact that don't give up. If you cannot do it the first time, it's normal. I mean, the body have to get used. There is nothing weird. I mean, can happen. I mean,
Yes,
exactly. So just be gentle with yourself, not
yes,
judge yourself. I mean,
right.
take your time. Everything is happening the right moment. Io dico che tutto quello che succede, succede nel momento giusto per ciascuno. Quindi veramente prendetela con filosofia, cioè provate, ma non da diventare matti, cioè ogni volta succederà quando sarà il vostro momento, ecco. Yes, go ahead.
So after I did my 10-day juice cleanse, I was feeling like, I really wanted to
I
go the
know.
distance. Um, but I was having some pain in this root canal tooth, and it was causing inflammation throughout my mouth and like a lot of buildup. So I was nervous to, I was worried about it. I was worried like, oh no, is the sugar gonna hurt my teeth? Is it gonna make this issue worse? Um, so that went on for a little bit, and then uh, April came, and something just told me, just do it. Don't be
Who
afraid. Just
told you?
sometimes
Aline.
no, something, the universe,
Ah,
God,
something, the
something
universe.
told me like you don't need to wait anymore, you know? I had done the 10 days on juice and my body was feeling a lot better and I had an emotional purge, like an emotional binge. So after my 10-day juice cleanse, I broke it and ate vegan pizza. And that it I was sick, hurting. So don't do that, please. I'm warning you. Don't do what I did.
But it is a beautiful example, you know.
Yes,
We
because
need
I
to
was
we need
emotional.
to say our mistake. I do all the time. I do all the time.
Exactly.
Because
Yeah.
this is the more powerful advice that you can tell to people.
Yeah. So
And you were
it was that
lucky, actually.
I ate the vegan pizza. I was hurting. Inflammation came back just as quickly as it had gone. And, I was back in pain from that. And I recognized that. That's one thing too, that when you juice for a while or you start eating the raw foods and feeling healthy, then when you go back and eat something, inflammatory or processed, you can feel it. But the beautiful thing is now you're more in tune where you can recognize, like, oh, this does not make this made me feel bad. You can see it very easily. So it made me feel bad. And so it took me, a month or two to build back up and say, like, okay, I'm not afraid about this root canal. I feel something, and that was April, and just God was telling me, like, you need to just go ahead and do it. Just do it. Don't wonder about it. So actually, it wasn't really planned for me to start this long cleanse, and I only gave myself a 10-day goal. So
Let me
I was like,
translate because this is insane. Only 10 day ago, and we are on the day 257. You are incredible. Oh, you see, sometimes we surprise ourselves, no? We
yes,
surprise if we stay open, always open, we surprise ourselves. This is the secret, no? Stay open, open to receive what the universe want to give us. No?
yes,
This is
yes.
the universal rule, a universal rule.
And we're so
Anyway,
powerful. We're so powerful, but the food that we put in our temple, it makes us forget. It makes us forget how much
thank
power
you.
and strength we really have and what all we're capable of. Whenever you start
Jennie,
juicing, you are a master
because
manifester.
I don't know if happened to you as well, but immediately when you start to change the food, you feel less fear.
It's very helpful with that. That's what's helped my mental health a lot because anxiety and depression is very closely related to fear. So much of my anxiety is fueled by fear.
Of course.
And it's so helpful with juicing because it helps you to live in the present and sort of recognize what you can control, like what you're putting in your body, versus what you can't control.
Exactly,
And
and you
it
need to be
helps
to
function much better.
surrounded, to surrounded. Allora, sottolineavamo il fatto che solo cambiando alimentazione, quanto il cambio dell'alimentazione è collegato veramente all'aumento o alla diminuzione del sentimento della paura, perché chiaramente è collegato agli stati ansiosi, depressivi. Perché chiaramente se tu nutri il tuo cervello del cibo giusto, chiaramente il cervello funziona meglio, il sistema nervoso è più calmo e tutto si calma e tutto funziona meglio, cioè è proprio normale, cioè normale nel senso lo capisci dopo questo quando lo provi. E comunque tornando a lei, dice che dopo questi 10 giorni che ha fatto con Aline, praticamente gli sono ritornati questi. Si è sentita benissimo innanzitutto in questi 10 giorni. Poi cosa ha fatto? Ha rotto il juice fasting come molto spesso succede quando si è alle prime armi con il cibo sbagliato. Ha mangiato una pizza vegana. Chiaramente non fatelo, lei però dice che lo porta sempre come esempio, come per dire ho fatto questa cavolata, imparate da me. Io ho sottolineato quanto è importante portare gli esempi di errori che abbiamo fatto noi in modo tale che voi non fate le stesse cose, no? E quindi lei dice che ha rotto il fasting, ha rotto il digiuno a succhi con la pizza vegana, è stata malissimo, chiaramente. Il problema al canale, al root canale, chiaramente, quindi ai denti, è peggiorato. Insomma, si è infiammata tutta, però la cosa bella è che quando tu sei più ti pulisci e più mangi cibo sbagliato, e più il tuo corpo te lo sottolinea che è sbagliato, quindi ci metti subito a rientrare in carreggiata perché dici che quella roba lì non mi fa bene, quel cibo lì non mi fa bene, quindi ritorno a ciò che so che mi fa bene. E quindi per lei è stato così, è stato un insegnamento importante anche se è stata malissimo. Diciamo che all'inizio era preoccupata di iniziare un lungo digiuno a succhi di frutta, sempre per quella storia che adesso chiaramente sappiamo che non è vera, però era all'inizio, quindi aveva bisogno appunto di supporto oddio, magari col problema ai denti che ho, lo zucchero mi fa male, oddio, cosa faccio? Aveva tutte queste ansie. Ma poi alla fine voleva però guarire, quindi si è informata, si è documentata su questo e in più ha ricevuto un messaggio anche lei dall'universo che gli ha detto basta con questi dubbi, inizia a fare il tuo digiuno a succhi di frutta, vai, è il tuo momento. E quindi ha iniziato. Ok, so you started the juice fasting. Okay. And then I wanna know the benefit and the more challenge moments on this juice fasting. Pensate, gli ho chiesto, voglio sapere i benefici e i momenti più difficili di questo tuo percorso e pensate che lei poi pensava addirittura, si era data come il tetto massimo di giorni da fare, 10 giorni, e adesso è il suo giorno 257. Go ahead, amore.
The most beautiful part about this journey has been, I want to say I mean, of course, my health improving, and that's what I set out to do, but the effect that it's had on my family. So,
Ah,
my husband, he saw that I was juicing. He was very inspired, and was really proud of me. And he got on board on day 56. He started juicing with me, and he juiced for 100 days
who?
himself. My
Who?
husband
He just 100 days.
with me for part of my juice cleanse. When I
No.
got to day 56, my husband was so inspired that he decided to juice cleanse with me. And he did 100-day juice cleanse. He removed his mucoid plaque and his parasites and got to a slim, healthy weight and was feeling like wonderful. Started like running and jumping, and his joints were feeling so good. Um, and basically, he said he was just feeling better than he ever had his whole life. My husband was also overweight most of his life, and after the juice cleanse, he was even slimmer than he was in high school. So he and I got to juice together for 100 days, and it was a very, very bonding experience for us. We got to, really bond with each other on a new level and
Oh
experience
my
something so
God.
new together. And it really helped us also to see and get in alignment about, what we wanted for our family and our health and what we wanted long term. And that really has also improved our bond with our children. We feel better. We get to spend more time with them. We can take them to the park and chase them and keep up with them. I used to not be able to let them run too far away from me because I wouldn't be able to get to them in time if something, if they got too far close to the street. Now I can let them run and then I can chase after them and I can catch them. And
You
so
became a
the
child,
bond,
amore. You're a child. We became a child.
yeah. So that I would say is the very most beautiful part about the
Okay,
juice cleanse is how
let
it's
me
really improved my relationship with my family, and my bond with my family and our overall like focus on our health as a whole.
oh this is amazing, amore. Oh my goodness, it's opened my heart, your story.
Uh,
I'm so proud of your husband too. I want to meet your husband. The next
I
time I
know.
want to
I tried
stay
to get him to do an interview. He's shy, but I was like,
here.
just, but I've been
Maybe
working on
in the
him.
future you work exactly, exactly. Oh my gosh. Because the men usually are more like it's more difficult to hear about the man that is juicing. I don't know. Only John I met honestly juicing so long. But that's why he inspired me also, on these juice cleanse.
Yeah,
But
he's so
I mean,
kind. I got to meet him at the fruit festival, and he's so sweet and full of light, and you can
of
just tell,
course.
when we eat light, we emanate light,
Oh my goodness. Full of love for
love,
each
love and
other
light.
without know each other. You just love everyone and everything. This is unconditional love. You love everyone and everything. There is nothing to say more for my side, and I know that you understand what I mean.
Yes.
Is
Everything
unconditional.
becomes about love because juicing is love. Juicing is
Yeah,
self-love.
is
It's the ultimate form of self-love. When we
let me
start to fill
translate.
ourselves with love, it
I
just pours out.
Yeah, let me translate this. Stavamo parlando del fatto che quando veramente si è in juice fasting c'è questa sensazione di amore incondizionato per chiunque, per qualsiasi cosa. E perché Jenny dice giustamente il succo è amore per se stessi, è amore per il proprio tempo. E quando tu ti nutri di amore, chiaramente emani amore. E quindi per quello che c'è questo sentimento di amore incondizionato tra le persone che anche non si sono mai viste fisicamente, ma fanno questo percorso di digiuno, perché c'è proprio questo basato sull'amore, cioè il succo è amore. Comunque, la cosa meravigliosa, allora, i benefici che Jenny mi ha detto, quello più importante è l'incremento dell'unione che lei ha sentito con il marito, con la sua famiglia. Perché il marito, cioè lei ha talmente ispirato anche il marito che hanno fatto, quando era il suo giorno 56, Jenny, il marito ha deciso di iniziare anche lui a fare un digiuno a succhi. Ha fatto 100 giorni con Jenny, quindi hanno fatto un digiuno a succhi insieme per 100 giorni. Ha detto che è stato un momento magico, si sono uniti tantissimo. Cioè, è bellissimo fare. È il mio sogno quello di incontrare un fruttariano e fare just fasting together e farle. I will say that is my dream to juicing with my future fruitarian husband when I will have a husband because I mean it's magic to do something like that. And I know the universe will give me this when it will be the right moment for me. I know already, so I'm here like surrounded to the universe. Ho detto che è il mio sogno quello di fare un digiuno a succhi con un eventuale mio partner futuro che sia fruttariano come me, però so già che tutto accadrà nel momento migliore e quando l'universo saprà che è il mio momento, insomma, per fare questo. Comunque lei l'ha fatto col marito. E il marito ha rilasciato anche lui parassiti, vermi intestinali, placche di muco, tutto. È sempre stato anche lui obeso, sovrappeso e cioè, ha perso tantissimo, cioè ha raggiunto il peso forma dopo questi 100 giorni di succhi, incredibile, mamma mia, la prima volta. Tanta roba, tanta roba, scusate, ma ho dovuto dire così perché veramente per rendere l'idea. E insomma, dice che è stato epico, ha unito la sua famiglia, quindi addirittura prima andavano al parco e lei aveva paura della strada perché i bambini correvano qua e là e lei non riusciva a stargli dietro, neanche il marito. Invece adesso i bambini corrono nel parco e lei senza problemi, cioè con tutta l'energia che gli è venuta, corre dietro, e il marito uguale, quindi dice proprio è stato un cambiamento allucinante. Yes, amazing. So, thank you, amore. This is epic story.
Yes. And I want everyone to know he's doing really well too, since he's come off of his juice cleanse for the last few months. So he eased back on eating, raw foods slowly with the fruits and then into vegetables and nuts and seeds and and now he eats raw till 4. And then for dinner, he likes to have a big salad and maybe some cooked whole food, plant-based food. And he only gained like 3 or 4 pounds back after his juice cleanse, eating this way, and he feels wonderful. He still has, juices. He has a lot of all day long. He eats juices and fruit.
How old,
Um,
how old are you and your husband?
I am. Are you gonna make me put my age out here?
Okay, okay, no,
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 because
it's
for me,
okay. I was
no,
just
because
joking with you.
uh,
I have to think about it. When we get older, we forget how old we are, but I am
because you doesn't
36.
look older. That's why I'm asking you, amore. Sorry, because I cannot give you an age. You look like a teenager now.
Oh, thank you. I'm 36. I'll be 37 in February.
Ah, we are
And my
almost.
husband,
For me, I am 39. I will be 40 in March. 40
you,
me, you can see.
you look like you're 25. Um, and my husband is 40, 42. I had to think about it. That's what happens when we get older. We have to start doing math to figure out our age.
when we when we get older, but we don't feel this because
No.
we I haven't experienced this energy. All the time I say to my friend, I haven't experienced this energy. No, even when I was 20 years old. No joke. For
Yeah.
for me, it's something new, new experience. No joke.
My husband too. My husband as well was just feeling so energetic on his 100th day, like to celebrate. We went for a run. We went for that's what we did to celebrate. We took our kids on the trail, on the nature trail, and we started walking. And then my husband started doing sprints, and we have these big boulders, and he jumped across the boulders, and like that was how we celebrated. Just like jumping around like little children, with our joints feeling amazing and the sun on our skin, and
Oh
it
my
was just
gosh, it's such a
beautiful.
musical, beautiful, epic scenario, amore.
It was so beautiful. It
Uh,
sounds cliche, but it was lovely.
allora, dice che suo marito, chiaramente, è stato molto divertente perché hanno festeggiato il 100° giorno di giorno al succo di frutta di suo marito, praticamente andando a fare una corsa. Perché parlavamo del fatto, gli ho chiesto quanti anni ha, e Jenny ha 37 anni e il marito ne ha 42. Perché arrivati a un certo punto, quando ci si nutre, si mangia così, si beve in questa maniera, non si può dare un'età, insomma, quindi gli ho detto quanti anni hai e quindi niente, abbiamo riso su questa cosa. E mi ha detto che appunto il marito si sentiva così energetico perché appunto io dico sempre che alcune volte non ho mai sentito quell'energia che sento adesso neanche quando avevo 20 anni e il benessere, l'energia, eccetera, neanche quando avevo 20 anni. E lei condivide quello che ho detto, dice che anche a lei è successo e dice che il marito comunque quando ha rotto il digiuno a succhi comunque ha mantenuto una dieta sana, nel senso è raw vegano, quindi è crudista, mangia noci, semi, frutta, verdura e diciamo che è crudista tutto il giorno, la sera alcune volte introduce cibo vegano ma super salutare, verdure cotte, cioè queste cose super salutari, quindi non più junky food e quindi diciamo che in questa maniera non ha riacquistato più il peso che aveva perso, mantiene un peso normale, stabile, normopeso e questo insomma sta bene, non si è mai sentito così bene. And what about the challenge? E adesso gli ho chiesto le sfide.
So the most difficult part has been um, processing, deep-rooted trauma and recognizing the comfort eating. So a lot of people talk to me, a lot of my clients, especially about cravings and things and hunger. But with juicing, you really start to learn when you're actually hungry versus when you want to eat for comfort. And I was so used to eating for comfort and not for actual hunger that I think that was the most challenging thing for me because then I had to learn to process my emotions that I had been stuffing down for
Accept
a
the
long
emotion, no?
time. Um, and so that was the very, very difficult part. Um, People ask me now, what do you do when you're cooking for your kids and, it makes you hungry? And a really easy visual for me is if you think about it this way. So whenever I'm cooking for my family, I always make sure to have a juice before and then I have a juice in hand. That way I've had plenty of calories. So if I've already had 32 ounces of orange juice and that's like, 600 calories plus, and I'm having another juice. So, I may have already had 2,000 calories for the day by the time I'm making them dinner in juice. If you think about that and you know that you've had 2,000 calories and you are making the food, you can talk to yourself and, make that connection. Like you can ask yourself questions. That's what juicing helps you do too, to go inward and ask yourself questions. So I was able to recognize, hey, I've had, 2,000 calories worth of juice. I'm not hungry. So what is this feeling? Why am I having this feeling? It's not real hunger. What is it? What's coming up? And then something really helpful is journaling, so that you can process what's going on. But so often it's not hunger at all. Also, like we're so used to food is just so readily available now. It's just at hand. You can grab it, you could put it in a microwave, just all these unnatural things and out of convenience, and that makes it too easy to get food. So if we were in nature, when our stomach growls, it doesn't mean that we're hungry. When our stomach growls, it's part of our survival mechanism to let us know, like, hey, you might need to go start looking for some food, because if we were in nature, the stomach would growl and we would say, okay, we better go out and look for some berries and pick some fruit and gather some things so that we can eat, right? We wouldn't just be able to reach for a burrito and put it in the microwave. Like nowadays, I said this the other day when I was talking with Bobby. Nowadays, whenever our stomach's growling, we're already putting food in our mouth.
Exactly,
You
without thinking.
before the stomach even growls.
It
So we
seems
don't
like
even really
it's
know what hunger
dangerous.
is.
It seems like there is a connection between, oh my gosh, I'm feeling starving, I need to eat right now. But you are really feel starving, or there is something else, or it's just a habit, maybe that
Yes.
you need, that you must eat at 12 o'clock noon, that you must eat 8 o'clock in the evening. Who teach us
Mhm.
that? Who tell that?
Right.
I mean, why
It's a
so many
societal thing. I
time?
feel like we've been like brought up to be little employees that we eat at certain
Exactly.
times of the day, that we, even as kids, we have to raise our hands in school just to be able to use the restroom, I feel like we're being taught like over time, just how to fit into this structure to just be another worker in the system, and
That's why
that's
I live
that's
in the
sort of.
island and I'm waiting for you here.
I'm coming, I'm
We,
coming.
we talk about that already, so.
Yes.
E gli ho detto la sfida qual è stata più difficile? Lei mi ha detto quella dal punto di vista emotivo, perché soffrendo chiaramente di abbuffate emotive, chiaramente la cosa più difficile è stata reggere le emozioni che arrivavano e non abbuffarmi, perché io ero abituata a gestire la mia emozione con le abbuffate compulsive e quindi diciamo imparare a gestire le mie emozioni, ad accettarle, ad amarle anche, quella è stata la sfida più difficile. Alcune persone mi chiedono, mi hanno chiesto, ma come fai a cucinare per la tua famiglia e non avere fame? E, e lei dice semplicemente bevo prima di cucinare e bevo dopo aver cucinato, quindi mangio invece che mangiare, bevo le stesse calorie che le stesse calorie in succhi e così non ho fame. E poi quante volte, cioè è stato anche una sfida per me interrogarmi su quante volte il mio stomaco brontola e è collegato a un vero stimolo della fame, cioè, ma oppure a un bisogno emotivo, cioè quante volte io ho mangiato per compensare l'emozione che provavo, per non sentire quell'emozione che provavo. E quindi dice, questa è stata la mia sfida più grande.
I think it's
Yes,
important to mention too, a lot of times we think we're hungry because our body is speaking to us, when in fact we're chronically dehydrated. We're backed up. We need we need water,
thank you.
we need fruit and vegetables, and those things to pull out the waste and rehydrate us. And we need even more of those things because we live, we've adapted to eating cooked food. So
Because of the
whenever we eat
salt.
cooked food, the water has been pulled out of it. So when we eat
Exactly.
it, we actually need all the water we needed before, but additionally, we need even more water to like rehydrate the food that we're eating. And most of us don't know that, you know? So a lot of times too, it's not even the hunger in that aspect either. It's dehydration. I just wanted to throw that in there.
No,
So
no,
that's
thank
been
you.
yeah, one of the most difficult things for me is, learning my hunger cues because I'm an emotional eater for sure. So recognizing and processing emotions is a very large part of
Oh my gosh,
cleansing.
it's everything for you. It's everything for you, I'm telling you.
Yes.
Congratulations, be proud of you, Angel. You
Thank
are
you.
literally a warrior angel, no joke. No joke.
Thank you, darling.
Repeat to yourself all the time.
Yeah.
Chapeau, amore.
Thank
Literally, chapeau. No, no
you.
joke.
Thank
Because
you.
it's not, because I am a psychotherapist, so I know what you are talking
Yeah.
about, and I know that is terrible when you feel like that. So I can totally understand you, and it's a miracle what you did, what you are doing. I'm telling you,
Thank you.
I'm
Thank you.
impressed.
And I want everyone to know too how important it is to do the inner work when you're doing this, because if you're trying to do this to, like, say you want to lose weight, if you just change your diet for a little while, you can lose weight, but can you sustain it? Can you
Yes,
keep it off if you
yes.
don't address the root cause? Like for me, if I didn't address the trauma and the emotional eating and work with my therapist and work through those things, then it's easy to just slip back into those old patterns because you never address the root of the problem.
Thank you.
So you can address your diet, but if you don't address your heart, you, you may not be able to sustain the changes long term. I think that's really important to
Yes. You know what I say all the time? That is this detox and detoxify the mind and detoxify the body have to be as is something that have to be together.
hmm holistic. It's really
Holistic, in a
a mind,
holistic,
body, soul.
holistic, exactly. So, allora Jenny dice che appunto vuole sottolineare ancora una volta che a volte noi sentiamo lo stimolo della fame, ma non è fame, è disidratazione, perché con tutto il cibo processato che si mangia oggigiorno, pieno di sale, pieno di sostanze chimiche, tutti questi prodotti chiaramente disidratano il corpo e le cellule del corpo in una maniera pazzesca. E quindi questo ti fa venire fame che però in verità non è fame, è richiesta del corpo di essere idratato. Ed è per questo che a volte le persone che non sanno, non hanno queste conoscenze, si confondono e mangiano più del dovuto, magari mangiano di nuovo cibo processato e questo che cosa fa? Li porta di nuovo allo stato di disidratazione, ma invece di bere e di idratarsi con cibo vivo, frutta, verdura, succhi, cosa fanno? Continuano questo circuito, sentono lo stimolo della fame, mangiano cibo processato, sentono lo stimolo della fame, mangiano cibo processato, ma invece quello stimolo lì è la richiesta del corpo di essere idratato, perché siamo tutti disidratati in maniera cronica ormai, talmente tanto che neanche ce ne accorgiamo. E dice che comunque sottolinea ancora una volta che la cosa che per lei è stata molto importante anche appunto farsi aiutare in psicoterapia perché era per capire la radice del suo problema di abbuffata compulsiva, perché dice che se tu non, giustamente, questo gli ho detto come psicoterapeuta, condivido anch'io, non targetizzi, non trovi la causa, poi quando riprendi a mangiare lo fai ancora, quindi invece in questa maniera lei ha imparato, sta imparando a gestire le sue emozioni e quindi quando tornerà a mangiare lo farà con una consapevolezza differente. Yes, it's always beautiful to underline that everyone needs help. Everyone needs help because this is literally we need to allow ourselves. We cannot do everything all the time alone because the society all the time like is point us to be independent, to we cannot count to anyone. You know this kind of belief, no? You cannot trust this kind of general belief. But it's not like that. So in our group, for example, we are all amazing people, and I feel that I can trust to everyone of you, Aline, and you know, I mean, because when you are out from the brainwashing of the society, you see things, you see
Yeah,
the reality in a different perspective, opposite perspective,
right. The
actually.
love, we're all different and we have different opinions and,
Exactly.
but that's okay. It's okay. We all
Exactly.
still have love in our heart. And
Exactly.
I used to isolate as well, and it's really support has really made the difference for me to be able to do this, to talk to other people and just get the love and help when I needed it, especially as mamas, we think that we, have to do everything by ourselves and we can't get any help with anything. And, I'm still guilty. I'm doing better and better. I'm working on that myself, but we are taught to just that we have to do everything and we can't reach out for help or that it's shameful to ask for help. And that's just not the case, and it's just not true. And people do love us, and they do want to help us. And like you said, just society is very divisive. It makes us think that, that we're separate, but we're not. We're all together,
No,
and
we are
nobody
all
has to suffer in
together.
silence. And once I figured that out and found friends and started to, really get support, then that's when I was able to keep on juicing. And I set this goal for 10 days, but in my heart I knew I wanted it to be longer, but I gave myself a short-term goal. So if that
Yeah,
helps you with juicing, give yourself a short-term goal.
exactly.
Say, I'm going to try to do, 3 days. And then when you get to 3 days, reassess and say, do I want to do three more?
Yeah,
And that's what I
slowly,
did.
step
And
by
then I
step.
did 10 more and 10 more. And I kind of went in 10-day increments until I said, hey, I think I'm gonna, go at this thing long term. And I didn't need to set the 10-day goal anymore. I started to just trust my body and say, however long that this takes, I'm gonna trust in God and just
You will be
allow
guided,
it
you
to
are
happen.
guided already. You are guided already. Allora, Gianni dice praticamente che eh, la cosa importante, cioè che non pensava appunto di arrivare, di arrivare fino a qua, perché si è data questo obiettivo di 10 giorni, ma invece cioè, è arrivata fino a qua e dice datevi un obiettivo step by step e poi incrementate in maniera spontanea. E dice, cioè, a un certo punto poi per me io non ho neanche avuto bisogno più di contare quanti giorni stavo facendo perché è diventata un po' parte, parte di me adesso questo percorso, dice, no? E poi stavamo parlando del fatto, appunto, sempre del sostegno, dell'importante di avere persone con cui potersi confrontare e il fatto di come la società ci spinge molte volte ad essere individualisti, a non chiedere aiuto, ad essere sospettosi sempre del prossimo, tutti questi sentimenti negativi che in verità quando li lasci alle spalle, come abbiamo fatto noi, alla fine incontri tantissime persone al mondo, quando ti accorgi che quello è un modo per della società per tenerti schiavo e legato alla società, quando invece no, coi clisteri. I will translate for you maybe. Ok. E, stavo dicendo, ah, maybe I can do interpreter. Anyway, dice che quando ti rendi conto che effettivamente puoi contare su le altre persone, allora, allora conosci persone sempre di più che ti aiutano, ti stanno vicine, come è successo a me e a Jenny, ma lì il tutto quando esci dal circuito del lavaggio del cervello della società, insomma. Ecco, questo è quanto. Uh, so Anna, uh, so I think we have a lot of questions. I don't know how many questions we have.
That's okay.
Uh, I
I'm
mean,
ready.
you are ready, amore, I know. Because now maybe we can just look at the question and see, because we are talking since 2 hours, so you know that. So if we can have a look at the question, if you are agree. So maybe you can answer. It's okay
Sure.
for you, amore. And then we wrap it up because otherwise we talk until tomorrow morning and the live Facebook is not possible to publicize because we haven't. Anyway, 10 minutes, just look at the question.
I'll come
Anna's,
back too. I'll come
yeah,
back, everyone.
no, please. I mean, of course, it's not gonna be the last interview. Non è l'ultima volta che vedrete Jenny, quindi non preoccupatevi, avrete altre occasioni. Anna is asking if you are doing the juice fasting with or without enema, enema and gravity colonic.
I did go have a colonic, and I have done enema as well. Um, but I know some people suggest doing it every day when you're detoxing, and I think that that's probably good. But I haven't been able to do it that often just because of my kids. I'm so busy. I have my kids all the time running around, and like you could see how trying to do that with like two small children might get messy. Wink, wink. So that's made it difficult for me. But every time I have done one, I've felt great afterward and, released some yucky stuff. So I'm pro for it. I say, do it if you can.
Allora,
It's important.
Jenny dice che li ha fatto sia la idrocolonterapia che clisteri. Non ha potuto farli tanto spesso come avrebbe magari voluto perché avendo due bambini, insomma, doveva trovare il tempo, ha gestito anche tutta la famiglia in questa situazione. Quindi dice che, insomma, è stato difficoltoso e non li ha potuti fare come avrebbe voluto, ma tutte le volte che li ha fatti ha riscontrato enormi benefici, ha eliminato un sacco di materiale di scarto e quindi insomma lei consiglia fateli, fateli. Ok, amore. Amore, there is something that you wanna add before closing the interview because otherwise we're talking until tomorrow morning. Well, like I said already to our friends, we can do another time because you see how many people are interested. I'm reading the question, but there is only that question. But maybe tomorrow, without maybe, I think we could have more question to answer. You wanna add something? You wanna say something more?
Uh, I think if I had to leave you all with something, I would say that this journey has really shown me just how much more love we need in the world. And that means giving ourselves love so that we can share that love with others. And juicing is the ultimate form of self-care and self-love. And there's no shame in taking good care of yourself. So don't let others make you feel bad for filling your cup because Dr. Sebi says only when we love ourselves can we love the world. And that's the truth. I am able to give so much more love now that I'm taking care of myself. But, I'm able to take better care of my kids and give them even more love. And I have love and care that, I now can give to others who are going through this journey and need help healing or who are struggling, with emotional things like I've been struggling with. And it really, um, we're we're powerful. I just want you to know that you're very powerful. And if you put your mind to something and you set your intention and uh, you know, put faith in yourself and the universe, then you can really do anything. As long as you do it with love, then you're going to be led in the right direction. And when we start leading with love, and especially I've noticed juicing, I don't know if it's the same for you, but manifestation happens so easily.
Oh,
The man I told you, Joe Cross, the star of that movie, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, he's also the creator of the Nama. He interviewed me. I got to meet him, like things just start happening for you whenever you are in alignment with love
yeah,
and taking care of yourself and taking care of others.
yeah.
So start with yourself. And if you have a goal, don't give up. Just keep pushing toward it. You can do it.
Allora, Jenny dice che se hai un sogno non mollarlo, continualo e dice che i succhi di frutta gli hanno fatto scoprire l'amore, l'importanza dell'amore e quanto sia importante amare se stessi prima, perché altrimenti non possiamo dare amore al prossimo. E, quindi questo digiuno che sta facendo gli ha mostrato davvero l'amore, il significato dell'amore, l'importanza dell'amore, che tutto è amore, e il fatto che noi siamo così potenti, se ci rendessimo conto di quanto siamo potenti, e possiamo fare veramente, se mettiamo l'intenzione, possiamo veramente fare tutto quello che vogliamo. E, dice che soprattutto mi ha chiesto se l'ho notato anch'io ed è vero, quando sei in juice fasting, quando sei nel digiuno a succhi di frutta, puoi veramente manifestare le cose diventano realtà, cioè è un potere di manifestazione incredibile se ci credi a quelle cose ed è vero, sì, lo condivido. E dice che il protagonista del film poi, who interview
Joe
the...
Cross, he's the star of the movie if you watch Fat,
Oh
Sick, and Nearly
my
Dead.
goodness,
He created
la
the
star.
Nama juicer.
How he met you? How did you meet him?
He saw my story
Ah,
online that I lost so much weight
no.
juicing and that I use
Oh
his Nama
my
juicer,
goodness.
and that I was a fan of
Oh
his
my
movies.
goodness.
And
Praticamente, cosa le è successo a proposito di manifestazione? Il protagonista del film che l'ha ispirata, quella di cui abbiamo scritto nei commenti, ha visto la sua storia in internet e l'ha intervistata, ha visto quanto peso è riuscita a perdere, tutto il suo percorso, il suo incredibile digiuno a succhi e gli ha chiesto di intervistarla, cioè il suo sogno è diventato realtà, ha conosciuto davvero questo, il protagonista, la star del film, cioè incredibile. Ok, amore, so my love, thank you so much. Please, I mean, you can say uh, arrivederci, it means like see you soon because it's not gonna be the last time with us to our friends. If you wanna say something to say bye bye, so I
Arrivederci, amores. That wasn't
sì!
very good, but I tried. I love you
Amore!
all, and I appreciate you. And uh, add as many questions as you'd like. And maybe if it's a lot of questions, we could just do a follow-up, and I could
Please,
just answer any
please,
questions you all
let's
have
do
from the
it.
interview.
Let's do. So,
So,
Jenny invita a scrivere tutte le domande, all the questions that you have, tutte le domande che avete nei commenti e lei sarà felice di rispondervi. Faremo un'altra live insieme e di rispondere alle vostre domande. Quindi non tenetevi dentro nessun dubbio, nessuna domanda. Se avete, scrivete tutto e noi vi risponderemo con un'altra live. We will be answered with another live together about all the question. Okay, so it's just arrivederci.
thank you for having me, Angel. I love you so much. You are
Amore.
such a beautiful, kind friend, and I'm so proud of you. Congratulations on your 200 days, all that you're releasing emotionally, physically. You're just full of love and happiness and light, and it makes me so happy. I totally feel your energy and vibration, and
I feel you
uh,
too.
just
And I love you.
congratulations. What a
Thank
grand
you.
accomplishment. So much discipline, so much love for yourself to do something like this.
Yeah.
So be proud of yourself. You are
Thank you,
amazing.
amore. Thank you, Angel. Gianni niente mi ha detto che è molto fiera di me, del mio percorso, che mi sta vicino, che sente la mia energia. Insomma, ci siamo scambiati amore. We change love, actually.
Yes.
We exchange
It's a
love.
beautiful energy exchange here.
Exactly. Because when you are in juicing, you just spend all the time exchanging love, but this is not a joke. Perché quando
Everything
sei...
becomes about love. It's
Esatto.
beautiful.
Perché quando sei in questo stato, semplicemente ti scambi amore in continuazione. Ok, amore, sei... Arrivederci, a presto, arrivederci,
Arrivederci.
ciao.
Goodbye, everyone. Mwah.
Wow, we love you. Ciao,
Love
amore.
you.